guys, welcome to another episode of my team here on F1 2021. We're at the United States yesterday, we are at Mexico today. You see the weather in the bottom corner. Fully wet Grand Prix. Fully wet Grand Prix. It might just clear up at the end of the Grand Prix. 19% chance of rain in that final segment, so we may have some dry running, but it's going to be really, really tough. Qualifying is in the dry, but the race is fully in the wet. Yikes. Don't know what to expect here. We've never done more than just a partial Grand Prix in the wet. I've not driven at Mexico yet on this game with obviously the new floor downforce and all of the curb situations, etc. that we've experienced throughout the course of the year. But the car felt great at Austin, and hopefully it will do the same here at Mexico City. Do drop the video a like if you enjoy the episode and if you're enjoying the series. Make sure you subscribe to the channel so you don't miss out on any more videos. Hit that notification bell as well, and you'll definitely not miss out. And do the same on Twitch. Follow me on Twitch in the description down below, and turn notifications on, and you'll never miss a stream. Right, I'm going to jump in then to the Mexican Grand Prix weekend. Complete unknown here. Complete unknown.
Okay, test complete, and that was a very good job indeed. We got a lot of valuable information out.
That was decent. I did notice that even though we were like P5, Schwartzman was still faster than me. So whilst that did put me quite high up on the standings, obviously that was on a soft and a lot of the other drivers were on hards or mediums. So let's not get too carried away by that lap time. Let's not get too carried away by that lap time. Thank you for the follow, T7GHE. But that's a decent haul of resource points for us there. We will retire from the session and head to qualifying, which is in the dry.
It's time to remind ourselves of our top three.
Before a fully wet Grand Prix that I'm pretty apprehensive about, to be honest.
Let's talk about what happened.
Not a great day, wasn't that bad?
Fault's a bad omen for qualifying and the race.
No. Just get my bad luck out the way early, that's all.
How do you feel about this team's performance this season?
They work hard, but they don't necessarily get the rewards that hard work deserves, Williams. Although today, in real life at Hungary, they did. We will, as ever, just quickly skip the other two practice sessions and head straight to quali, where we will now find out how many resource points we got total. Hopefully Robert was able to get a decent amount of resource points there as well. His stats are actually 200, it's not bad, I guess. His stats are actually quite well boosted thanks to a couple of activities in between Grand Prix. So he actually is going to be pretty competitive in this next Grand Prix, Robert Schwartzman. And depending on how much money we have available at the time, we may re-sign Robert Schwartzman in the summer. I may well do that. Right, let's go qualifying, shall we? P19 after that first run. We need to be faster. Thank you for the raid. I'll read that in a moment. We're on a rather important qualifying lap right now. We shall try and put a better lap in this time than we did last time. For those that are joining, I'm not sure how many or from where, but we are currently at Mexico for the F1 2021 My Team save. Currently not one of the fastest cars on the grid, but we did have a good Grand Prix yesterday at USA, so we're trying to replicate that here in Mexico. I didn't get this section that spot on in my first run. I'm going to try and get it a bit better this time. We've certainly carried a bit more speed through there, and we're about 3.5 tenths up here. So this certainly could be a better time for us. Whether it's a time good enough to get us into Q2, I'm not sure. Find out momentarily. It's about 5 tenths up now. I lost a little bit through there. Oh, a much better exit that final turn. We're going to be 6 tenths up. That's P14. That's a P14. That's a great lap. That's a great lap. It was. Oh, holy shit. Thank you, Matt, for the raid of 609. I was in the zone there. I was in the zone. Thank you, Matt. I hope you're well, my man. We're going to be slightly slower on this lap, but hopefully... Now it says I'm P11. I don't know why it says I'm P11, because we were P14 before I started that lap. I'm confused. I'm confused. Thanks for the follow, TK. We were P14, then it said we were P... Now the session's over. It said we were P11. which is odd. Let's have a look and see. Oh, is it a flashback glitch, is it, Alex? Thank you for confirming. So we were P14 with a 1:14.1. Oh, we scrape through. We are into the next session, but so very, very, very just. By the skin of our teeth, that 1:14.1 gets us in by less than 1/10 of a second ahead of Antonio Giovinazzi. So we are in to Q2, and we'll have the opportunity to go again with that fresh set of tyres as well. Dead lap. Absolutely dead lap. Never mind. We will start P16. We'll start P16. Oh, that sucks. I'm annoyed at myself for that, but such things happen. That's racing, and unfortunately we will start P16. Kimi, in the end, put in a 1:14 flat, and I don't think I could have matched that anyway. So we probably would have ended up P16 anyway, but we will start P16, barring, like we say, any grid penalties for other drivers. Vettel likely to lose second place as 1 litre of fuel was not available in his car at the end of the race. Oh, really? Did he not have enough fuel left for the sample? So if Seb gets... Would that be a straight disqualification? Or is that a straight disqualification or just a penalty of some description? I imagine it would be a disqualification, right? In real life, for Seb, that would mean that Sainz would get P3. Right, so, as you can see, it's going to be a fully wet Grand Prix. It will start probably on the inters, get heavier, and then maybe dry up at the end of the race. So we will be starting on probably intermediate tyres, if not wet tyres. We don't need to change any parts. The gearbox will last this one more race, but then we'll probably have to take a penalty to put a new gearbox in, to be honest. It looks like it's probably going to be intermediates to start, judging by that wet weather. But qualifying was bone dry, as we saw, and Lewis will start on pole ahead of Valtteri Bottas. I imagine the McLarens will be second and on the second row. Perez and Leclerc. Vettel and Alonso. Okay, so got to be penalties for others. Got to be penalties. Stroll, Raikkonen starts 8th.
They've taken a grid penalty.
So Verstappen with a grid pen. Tsunoda. Norris with a grid pen. We start 12th. We start 12th.
They'll be starting further back after an earlier grid.
Sainz with a grid pen as well. Norris with a grid penalty. Schwartzman starts 15th. Russell 16th. Gasly with a grid penalty. Mick Schumacher 18th. Ricciardo 19th. He's taken a grid penalty too. Latifi, Ocon, who's taken a grid penalty, and Mazepin. Wow, we start P12. But bear in mind, there are a lot of cars that are faster than us behind us. So I will do a prediction, but we start P12. What I will ask you is, will I finish P12 or higher? Will I finish... Actually, I'm going to say P13 or higher, because there are so many faster cars behind me. I'm going to say, will Ches finish P13 or higher? 2 minutes, use your channel points, have a vote. So, let's sort our strategy out then, shall we? Now, we're going to be in the wet. Oh, it reckons that the intermediate tyres aren't going to last that long. So, we're going to be in the wet, so we can underfuel the car. 71 lap race, but we're not going to be using a lot of fuel. So, I'm going to underfuel the car by a lap and a half. So 71 lap race, but because we're in the wet for the full race, I'm going to underfuel the car because we're not going to be driving at full pelt, are we, for the whole Grand Prix. He reckons it's going to take 1 hour and 43 minutes. I hope you guys are set and settled for a long Grand Prix, because this is going to be mental.
The rest of the grid is forming up. Be patient and watch for the lights.
Thank you, Jeff. Ready, ready, ready. We're off. Right, hold it at about 10,000 revs-ish if you can. Oh, they held us for ages there. Oh, dearie me. Squirrely. Trying to put the power down, and we've been gobbled up by the pack. Nearly spun it into the wall there. We survived just, but down to P19 from our P12. Sainz has gone super narrow. I'm actually going to try and dive bomb it a little bit up the inside and gain another couple of positions back. We're alongside Carlos Sainz here. It's very, very tight on this apex. Another little bit of a nudge from Carlos, but we're back up to P15. Whoa. That was nervy, wasn't it? Carlos is going for the inside line. But he's not going to get it. I'm going to cover it off. Can I sneak around the outside of someone? No, there's not really enough room. Schwartzman's caught there on the apex, so I'm going to try and dip underneath my teammate here and gain an extra position if I can. Need good traction. Oi! Deary me! These rear tyres do not like this wet weather. I have to be so careful. Down to P17 again. Oh. Right, let's get back up to Nicholas Latifi, shall we? Because it's wet weather, there is no DRS. There is no drag reduction system in wet weather. So it doesn't matter whether we are or are not a second behind the car in front. But already our fuel is recovering. Whew, tell you what, we nearly put it in a wall twice there, didn't we? But we survived at least. Jesus, that was nervy. On 2 occasions, just getting a little bit too hasty with the throttle pedal. Very nearly lost it in a wall. This is tough. This is really tough. Here comes Daniel. I'm going to have to go defensive. I was trying to do that to Latifi, but it's actually Daniel Ricciardo that's got the pace.
Let's conserve what we have left.
That McLaren, pretty quick in a straight line, it seems. Bloody hell. He had me there, didn't he? The Mercedes engine is very powerful. I will try and follow him through on Latifi. It may rain heavier later in the race and force full wet weather running. We may have to switch to the blue striped full wet tyre. We're not fast enough in a straight line, evidently, because now here comes Pierre Gasly. He's got a Honda engine in the back as well. Ricciardo's having a go at Latifi. That's going to slow them up. I'm going to try and dip around the outside of Pierre Gasly now so I can nip up the inside here and retake P18, which we do, and then nearly bin it again. That was good racing. Pierre had me down the straight. We got him back through the first sector. That was enjoyable. Ricciardo has taken Latifi. Right, if I can stay with Latifi here. Use my ERS. Is he going to go defensive? He does a little bit, but if I can stick around the outside here, I will have the inside line for the next corner. And we're past Latifi. Staying ahead of Latifi is going to be easier said than done down this next straight, but that was a nice move. Back up to P17. So the difference between ERS and DRS, I know it can get confusing. In dry weather running, there's DRS, which is drag reduction system. And you'll notice, or will have noticed in other races and in real life, in certain parts of the track, the rear wing on some cars opens up with a little letterbox flap. That's the DRS. Now, it can only be activated in certain parts of the track if you're within a second of the car in front through a detection point that's just before that section. Now, it doesn't necessarily have to be the car that's in front of you in the race. It can just be a car in front of you on the track. So say you're lapping someone and you're coming up behind someone that's 18th and you're first, you'll still get DRS on the person that's 18th. Or similarly, if you're 18th and you're getting lapped by first, but you're behind first place through the detection point by less than a second, you'll get DRS too. So that's what DRS is. ERS is the energy recovery system, not drag reduction system. Energy recovery system, which is part of the battery side of the engine. The engines in F1 these days have a combustion engine, a normal combustion engine, 1.6 litre combustion engine, and on top of that they have bolted on about 150 to 200 brake horsepower battery as well. Now that battery regains charge through braking kinetic energy, so you can utilise it by pressing the overtake button, which you'll notice me doing by pressing LB on my controller, and you'll see overtake in the bottom left. When I press that, I'm using that battery power. That battery power recharges itself when I brake. Obviously, you could use all of it up, and you're only allowed to use a certain amount of it per lap, so you can't just constantly be on it and then recharge it, and then constantly be on it and then recharge it. So you have to manage it, but that's what the difference between DRS and ERS is. I hope I explained that in a manner that was easy enough to understand. So we're in a bit of that bit of a status quo moment again in this Grand Prix, as we were in the United States, where we're quicker than those behind, and we can't quite seem to close up on the group in front. But at least we're staying with them, and it's through pit strategy that we'll make moves today, or at least in this first part of the race. Yellow flag. Kimi Räikkönen out of the race. Kimi is out, and Yuki's out as well. What's happened between Kimi and Yuki? 2 cars out of the Grand Prix. Is that Kimi? That's Giovinazzi. Whoa! Kimi Räikkönen sideways. Kimi's lost it, and Yuki's hit him. Kimi's lost it, and Yuki's hit him. Kimi's binned it there, spun it round, and Yuki's going to come around, try and avoid him, and just drive straight into him. Oh my god. Oh, it's got to be a safety car. That's a huge crash. Oh my god. What? Oh my god. Thumbnail. That's a 6-car crash. That's a 6-car crash. That has to be a full safety car. Jesus, wet. What just happened? Right. That is utter carnage. That's ridiculous. So there's going to be 3 or 4 cars out here retiring, and a handful of others with damage. Oh my god, that's just madness. In real life, that would almost certainly be a red flag. But obviously, there is no red flag setting in the game, unfortunately. So it would probably just be a full safety car. All right, we're coming around to this now.
Give that position back. We are under safety
now what?
conditions and cannot
They're all out of the
position.
past sights is too slow. Can I go through there? Verstappen's got a 5-second penalty. Gasly's somehow overtaken me there. That's not fair. I should be ahead of Gasly still. We are P10 currently. P10. Do I pit for wets?
Right, come in at the end
Right,
of the
I'm gonna risk it. I'm gonna pit for wets. I'm gonna pit for a set of full wets. Because look at the standing water build-up. Look at the standing water build-up. So we're now behind Max Verstappen. Max Verstappen, I believe, has a penalty. I believe Max has a penalty. Indeed, he does, for a collision with Kimi. That was just carnage. So Yuki, Kimi, Lando, and Giovinazzi all out after crashing and losing a tyre. Lance Stroll has a warning for a collision, and Max a 5-second time penalty for the collision. I don't need to be in lean, Joel, because we don't need to save tyres at all. Or save tyres, so we don't need to save fuel at all. I'm not sure these wets were the right call, you know. Well, we are last. I'm going to pit again for Inters. Wets was the wrong call, lads. Wets was the wrong call. Hobbsy, I'm looking at you, pal. Max has served his penalty, yes. Max has served his penalty in that last pit stop. We pit for full wets, trying to get an advantage on everyone else. In fact, hang on. There are some more drivers in the pits now. What are they doing? Oh, other drivers are coming in for full wets. Other drivers are coming in for full wets. Oh, Hobbsy, hang on. Conundrum. Conundrum. Some have pit for Inters, some have pit for full wets. And now Hobbsy is going full big brain. Look at me! Look at me! Look at me! Okay, we'll stay out then. We'll stay out on the full wets. Oh, Jesus wept! What is this race turning into? Hobbsy redemption. Hobbsy redemption. So we're going to pit for full wets then. Or we've pit for full wets. We're going to stay out on these full wets. Loads of other drivers are changing to full wets. Now, can I take Latifi here? I don't know if I can take Latifi or not. No, I can't. So we're up to P14. We're up to P14. And now there are a number of other drivers behind us also on full wets. Some pit for Inters. We pit for wets. And a number of others are then on the next lap pit for wets themselves as well. It's right on that crossover, isn't it? Where there are puddles forming. So it's definitely, you'd say it's definitely wet enough for wet tyres. Oh, Latifi nearly lost it there. Latifi nearly binned it. In the same place where... Oh no, this was where Yuki and Kimi crashed, wasn't it? Latifi's struggling for grip as well. I wonder if any of the other cars will come in for full wets on this lap. They are! They are! They are!
Okay, slow down.
They are!
Slow down. Your delta is negative.
Everyone else is pitting too. Everyone else is pitting too. All those that pit for inters are now going in for wet. Speed up, Latifi! We could take so many people! Go! 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 Everyone's gone to full... Go, Nicholas! Oh, you're so goddamn slow! Ah! I don't know who's where. We're 10th. We're 10th then behind Mazepin. We're 10th behind Mazepin. Everybody's now pit for full wets. So everyone's now back. This is now status quo again. This is now status quo again. Apart from the Ferrari in P1. Carlos Sainz hasn't pit yet. Carlos Sainz hasn't pit yet and he's on inters. And I swear someone had... Yes! Daniel Ricciardo with a 5-second time penalty for ignoring yellow flags. Daniel with a 5-second time penalty for ignoring yellow flags. So Daniel behind us in P11 has a 5-second time penalty. And then behind him is my teammate Schwartzman. So in front of us we have Latifi in a Williams that we should be faster than. Mazepin in a Haas in 9th that we should be faster than. I don't know who else is in the top. Who else is in the top 10? Let's have a look. Is there anyone else up there? Not really. Everyone else up there is going to be faster than us. But Valtteri Bottas is down to P14 and will come through. Max is down to P16 and will come through. Lance is down to P17 and will come through. So the chance of points is there. The chance of points is there. But it's still unlikely because there's such a long way to go. But there's still plenty more race for people to... There's still plenty more race for people to have more accidents. People to make mistakes. But what I need Schwartzman to do now is an absolute Fernando Alonso job. I need Schwartzman to put in the sort of performance that Fernando Alonso did for Esteban Ocon today in real life. We will be doing one more lap behind the safety car because they haven't caught up behind us. So another lap behind the safety car. Fuel is nearly back on track now. Sainz is in the pits as well, pitting late. He's now going to drop from first to fucking last. We're P9. Carlos Sainz with a mad mistake. Big mistake not to pit when he did. He's going to go from first to 20... Sorry, not 21st. First to 18th. First to last. We are 9th now. This is going to be mental. We're only 15 laps in. Safety car should come in this lap. We're only 15 laps into the 71. Safety car in this lap, as we expected. Now the safety car will go and pull in, and whoever's in first, which looks like Lewis Hamilton, will become the safety car. He'll dictate the pace at the front, and then when the safety car is in, we will be back to full green flag racing, which is now.
Green flag.
We are off.
We're racing again.
Oh, BFG has gifted a sub. It's gone to Lincoln City Tom. Thank you, Ryan. Now, Daniel has got the pace on me here and the speed. I'm going to go defensive. I'll try and hold on to the inside line, and we'll try and do to him what we did to Gasly. I don't know if that's going to work here. Ricciardo is through, but there are still slower cars in front that we could, as a pair, try and get through. Now, my teammate is right behind me.
Keep it up.
My teammate is right behind me, so we should be pretty similar for pace, myself and Schwartzman. And if he can hold Valtteri Bottas up behind him, the same way that Latifi held Gasly up earlier on, then maybe we could do something here still. So much has happened already, and it's lap 16 of 71. This is why 100% races are the fucking best. Now again, we are faster through this second sector than a couple of the others, like Mazepin and Latifi, that don't necessarily have the downforce for that section. Ricciardo's going for it on Mazepin. They'll both be out of position. We could try and take advantage of that. Oh, that could be dangerous. I'm not going to get involved in that. That's got front wing written all over it. Front wing damage written all over it. They're still going side by side here. Ricciardo's going to have it up the inside line, you think. use my battery now to try and... Oh, they're just too quick for me in a straight line, look. And we might get Mazepin. We might get Mazepin. I could maybe go for a lunge on Ricciardo. I'm not going to, though. Side by side. And through on Mazepin and up back into P9. Let's get after Latifi. And, of course, bear in mind, Daniel Ricciardo still has that 5-second time penalty, which he will serve at his next pit stop. So we are technically already P8, provided we can stick to within 5 seconds of Daniel Ricciardo. We are effectively running a place higher than we actually are because of his time penalty. I just kind of used him attacking Mazepin there to help me get past. And now Schwartzman has passed Mazepin as well. Schwartzman is also passed, so both Chesnoid racing cars are in the points. Both Chesnoid racing cars running in the points. 9th and 10th. Mazepin may well have damage. We might see Mazepin pit. He's already dropped behind. Oh no, he's battling actually. He's battling with Valtteri Bottas. Mazepin might have damage from that battle with Ricciardo. If he did, we'll see him pit probably for a front wing. I hope he doesn't, so that he holds up those faster cars behind us again. We'll see if Mazepin pits. No, Mazepin's still out, so no damage for Mazepin. He's staying out. We are desperate now for Schwartzman to hold up Valtteri Bottas and Carlos Sainz and Max Verstappen and a number of other cars that are faster than us and behind, trying to chase to get back into the points. This has been crazy so far. Absolutely mental. We're going to pit again on lap 41. We'll probably be going back to Inters then, but I'm not sure. Daniel and Latifi battling hard, slowing each other up, giving me the chance to close in. And we'll go for Latifi too. Try and get Latifi now. Followed with Ricciardo through. Although Latifi's going to have the inside line here. I nearly ran into the back of Daniel, so I had to be careful there. We'll now have the inside line for this turn. And we'll force Latifi wide. Oh, dear it. Whoa! Christ. Rear tyres did not like being on the curbs then when I put the power down. Bloody hell. That was scary. We held it. And Bottas is past Schwartzman. Bottas is up to P10. Bottas is right with Latifi now and will almost certainly take him down this straight. Thank you for the bit, Drew. Bottas up to P9. Oh no, Latifi's got him back again. Go on, Nicholas! Fight for your life! No, Valtteri's through. Valtteri's through. That's what I mean about cars that are faster than us coming from behind. We might not. In fact, we probably won't, at this stage, I would say, finish in the points. But we may well still finish 13th or higher for the prediction. But you're right, I won't fight Bottas too hard, because our race isn't against him. Our race is basically trying not to lose as much time as possible, so that we can be faster than everybody else behind Bottas. Him overtaking us is just an eventuality. It's actually Max Verstappen that's P11 now. Max has taken Schwartzman and is closing in on Latifi. Sainz is still last, though. Sainz is still last. Oh no, he's. I didn't realize Russell had pit. Oh, because he had front wing damage. Because I didn't see Russell so far behind. I saw Sainz at the back of that cluster and didn't notice George all the way back where he is. So at this rate, by the time we get to the next set of pit stops where Ricciardo will serve that penalty, he will be more than 5 seconds ahead of us. So we are running a net P8 probably. At the minute we're running a net P7, but we almost certainly will be a net P8 by the time we come to the next pit stops. Although by then Bottas and Verstappen will be past me probably, so we'll be running P10. But P10 is still points. P10 is still points if we can get them, and who knows what else is going to happen throughout the remainder of this Grand Prix. There may be more retirements. There may be more incidents. There may be more action. It is going to dry up towards the end of the Grand Prix as well, supposedly. So if we can get the jump on everyone the way that we did with these wets, then you never know.
Front is 3.1 seconds.
The rain is not all the way through, was a no. It is supposed to dry up towards the end of the Grand Prix. It is supposed to dry up towards the end of the Grand Prix. barely see a thing. We're actually holding Bottas up here. He hasn't really threatened to try and get past yet. Probably jinxed myself by saying that, but still. At the moment, we are keeping Valtteri Bottas at bay. As long as I can keep going and not make any mistakes, we are keeping Bottas behind. Because it did say, the weather forecast did say it was going to start, like basically if you looked at the symbols, there was one layer of rain for half the Grand Prix, then 2 layers of rain on the symbol for the next bit, and then it said like 20% chance of rain and just cloudy at the end. So I expect it to stay heavy for quite a while, and then when it does dry up, it'll probably dry up about that 50-ish. I don't know how far a set of soft tyres can go. That's the thing. I can't remember how far a set of soft tyres can go. Definitely if it dries up before lap 55, I don't think we'll be able to go out on softs. We'll have to go out on mediums. Verstappen gap is definitely closing, isn't it? It's gone from 5 seconds to 2.2. And Latifi still, if you look at the minimap bottom left, Latifi's still holding everyone else up the other end. So we have a massive gap to P11. We're still this yellow flag somewhere. Max!
Okay.
Max has stopped. Oh, he spun! Max has binned it! Max has spun! Spun at turn 1. Tried to put the power down tried to put the power down on the curb, and it just spun him round. Okay, so the gap to Max now is what the gap is to outside of the points, and that gap is 15 or 16 seconds. So at the minute, it's Perez from Hamilton, from Leclerc, from one of the Aston Martins, not sure which, from one of the Alpines, not sure which.
Caution.
Another yellow flag up front. Perez has spun. Perez. Checo. Yellow flag for Checo. Is that his engine? Or is that just the spray? No, Checo's engine's gone. Perez out of the Grand Prix from P1 at his home race. That's devastating. So another place for us though. Pop. So now it's Lewis from Leclerc from one of the Aston Martins. Lewis from Leclerc, from Seb, from Alonso, Gasly, Ricciardo, myself. Valtteri, Verstappen, Latifi, Schwartzman's right behind him, then Mazepin, Stroll, Ocon, Schumacher, Sainz still P16, and then Russell P17. Sainz still isn't able to get past Mick. So the weather is changing, the rain is easing, and at some point soon-ish, it'll be intermediate time again. My next tyre is set to intermediates. So if we see the cars in front of us, if we see the drivers in front of us coming in for a pit stop, they're almost certainly pitting for a set of intermediates, and we can follow suit. There's enough of a gap for us to be able to react to those in front and what they do. Hamilton has now just disappeared on Leclerc and just dropped him. He was obviously really significantly held up by the pace of Sergio Perez. Now that Perez has retired, Hamilton has just been set free and he's gone, he's off. Still no movement to Inters from anyone else.
Strategy is available on the MFD. Got that.
Wants me to pit now for Inters. Jeff's called it. Jeff's called the strategy. Jeff wants me to pit now for Inters. We are pitting now for Inters. This might be another great call. Others behind are pitting too. Others behind are pitting too. It was the right call. It was the right call. We just so happened to be at the perfect place on the track to react to Jeff saying box. We were literally round the corner from the pits. Round the corner from the pits. And now we can scamper away on these Inters, hopefully. Try and put some good pace in. What a call. What a call from Jeff. Purple sector 2. We just set the fastest middle sector of the entire Grand Prix. The fastest middle sector of the entire Grand Prix. We were the first to pit for Inters. The first to do it, because Jeff called me about here last lap and was like, boys, it's into time. We've switched and we are off. Now, can we get ahead of Ricciardo with that penalty? We'll have had to have waited in his pit box for an extra 5 minutes. We are above Ricciardo now. We're P6. We're P6. We've jumped Ricciardo. Bottas has also jumped Ricciardo in the pit stops. Bottas has also jumped Ricciardo because of that time penalty. And we're up to P6. Get in, Jeffrey, indeed. Thank you for the follow, M44. Now, the thing is, we were able to keep Bottas at bay on the wets. I don't know if we're going to be able to keep Bottas at bay on the inters. It's the drier it gets, the more it sways in favour of the faster teams. Gap in front 3.3. I do save my ERS for this straight. Yellow flag, is that in front? It is. Yellow flag in front. Something's happened to someone. Someone's in the wall. Someone's in the wall. That's Leclerc. Leclerc is in the wall. He must have spun, or is it contact with someone? Safety car! Safety car! No! I don't need a safety car right now. That's going to narrow the pack back up, and those behind will close me up. I didn't need a safety car. No! He's binned it. Why is the safety car out? He's fine there. He can get back on the track. Oh! Michael Massey, what have you done? Michael Massey, what have you done? Safety car's going to pick up Lewis now at the top of the mini-map. But now that massive gap we'd opened up to Latifi and co is gone. We are going to be vulnerable, very vulnerable from behind. There are 4 cars directly behind me. Bottas, Ricciardo, Leclerc and Verstappen all could just sweep past me at any moment at the restart. So safety car number 2 as we reach the halfway point of the race. The halfway point of the race, might I add.
Clearing up is about 10 minutes, so just keep your concentration out there.
Rain clearing up in 10 minutes. Dry running in 10 minutes. Dry racing incoming. That's when we'll really start to fall backwards. But we probably have enough tyres to go soft. We could try and go mediums to the end, but it might well be soft. Not sure, it depends what Jeff recommends. No, safety car won't be in this lap. There's still far too big a gap to those behind. Hamilton is leading, yes. Hamilton from Vettel, from Alonso, Gasly and myself. We've had some insane luck, Menth. Insane luck. There have been multiple DNFs from a giant crash in front of us earlier on, where Tsunoda, Giovinazzi, Kimi and Lando all retired, and Sergio Perez has had his engine break, and he has obviously DNF'd. Verstappen spun, and we overtook him, and Leclerc spun, and we overtook him. If this were real life, it certainly would rival Hungary. Gasly's got a problem! Gasly's got a problem. The luck continues. Gasly has a problem. So he'll be slow at the restart unless they fix it really quickly. Safety car will be in this lap. Safety car will be in this lap. That's everybody behind us now. Safety car will be in this lap. Wait for it. You see how it's lights at the top are flashing? Those lights will go out, or the flashing light will stop. And that's when you know the safety car's coming in. There you go. It's just done it, just to show you it. See, the lights at the top of the safety car flashing. That means it's still out. When it's coming in, those lights get turned off and the safety car just disappears, and then the lead car becomes the one that dictates the pace, not the safety car. So Lewis is now in control of the pace of the Grand Prix. And Gasly, as far as we're still aware, has a problem, and we might be able to take Gasly at the restart. We might be able to take Gasly at the restart. Rye has resubscribed for a 2nd month. Thank you, mate. We have 4, at least 4, faster cars behind us.
Green flag.
Green flag running. And this is where we're vulnerable. Bottas is going for it up the inside. I'm trying to use my ERS as best I can, but that Mercedes is just too fast. Here comes Ricciardo as well. Try and hold on to it around the outside. I could maybe try and nip up the inside of Valtteri here. That's not going to work, but we've kept the place on Ricciardo, and Valtteri's gone wide there, and I'm going to try and use my ERS to get back past him again. He's just so fast in a straight line. I'm going to try and hold it around the outside if I can, to then have the inside line for the next turn, which we've done well. We will keep the place. Valtteri forced wide. Daniel might take Valtteri now and has done. We stay P5. We stay P5. Now, Gasly supposedly has a problem, so I'm going to get after Gasly and try and overtake him if I can, because he should be slow, or slower. But that gap has opened up to 2.2 seconds already because of our battling with everybody behind. But we've held P5. We've held P5. Gasly's vulnerable, man. Gasly's vulnerable. Really vulnerable. Not the time to get an issue with his car under a safety car where everyone is right behind him. Yeah, so slow here. I've got a run on him. I've got a run on him. I'm going for it. Try and take Pierre Gasly up the inside, which we've done. P4. P4 in Mexico. P4. The luck has been so heavily on our side today. It's actually been silly. I almost feel kind of embarrassed
The car in front is
that it's been
4.9
so
seconds.
favourable on us. Lewis from Seb, from Fernando, from me. We're waiting for dry weather running, and then I don't know whether to go soft medium to the end or just try and run a set of mediums to the end. A set of mediums almost certainly would last, but I don't know if going soft medium would actually be quicker. Fuel efficiency of this Honda engine is great. We started with a lap and a half under target, and it's now 2.7 laps over target. Obviously, we are in wet weather running, so you aren't using anywhere near as much fuel as you would in dry, but still. The car has gained 4 laps worth of fuel in this wet weather stint.
Okay, gap ahead is 5.4 seconds. A new strategy is available on the MFD.
Soft, soft. It recommends soft, soft.
Copy.
Jeff recommends soft, soft this lap. Soft, soft this lap. People behind pitting, soft, soft. We're going soft, soft. Look at the pace difference in dry running, though. Oh, my God, Gasly, fucking hell. Straight line speed, though, is just... This is where we get mugged. This is where we get mugged. Whilst it was still wet, we stood a chance. Now that it's going back to dries, we're going to struggle. Yellow flag behind us, in front of us.
Okay, clear.
Ferrari. There's a Ferrari going slowly. There's a Ferrari going slowly. It's Leclerc. Waiting for it. Bang. Pop. Ferrari engine gone. Another potential points rival retiring. All 3 in front are out of the pits.
We're leading our teammate by 8.9 seconds.
That gap behind is just going to plummet. Even with my ERS, I'm not going to be able to keep them at bay. I need to try and maintain a gap as best I can. Bottas takes Gasly. Bottas takes Gasly and is up to P5. They want me to pit on lap 59. Lap 59. I thought it was only about 14 laps that softs went for. No DRS yet. It will be next lap, but Bottas will probably still get me here. Ricciardo is now past Gasly as well. That's the fastest lap of the race for us, and then immediately taken away by Valtteri Bottas, who will immediately overtake me. Now is when we're really vulnerable. Really vulnerable. Yeah, fastest lap, never mind. I'm just going to have to save my battery for the straights. Save my battery for that main straight. Ricciardo's going for it now, but we'll be able to hold the inside line for the next 2 corners and keep him behind. That's not a problem. In the wet, we were competitive enough against these other guys. In the dry, we just aren't. Bottas does an 18.1. I did a 19.8. That's the difference. I'll try and fight Daniel as best I can. We held on to P5 for now. We've held on to P5 for now. But look at the pace difference. And he's got the... Oh, he's just gone. He's just gone with DRS. That's the difference the DRS makes. And I'm already out of DRS range of Daniel. And Gasly's within DRS range of me. Vulnerable. Very, very, very vulnerable is what we are now. So if those 3 behind us take us, we will be P9. If we lose position, if we lose the position to those behind, it's Gasly, Verstappen and Stroll. But we will still be P9 and in the points. Seb and Gasly having a bit of a fight. And not Seb, Max and Gasly having a bit of a fight. Could save us some time. And Stroll is there trying to take advantage as well. Stroll is now past Gasly as well. So Gasly tried to take me, tried to gain a position, and has actually ended up losing too. He could have been P6. He's not. He's P9. Gasly's had to pit. Gasly's had to pit. Gasly must have pit for front wing damage. No? Oh, he's just not registered. He's not registered yet because he's not in there yet. So Gasly's pit for front wing damage from battling with Stroll. So we are now P8. And Robert, our teammate, is P10. We have 2 cars in the points again. Now, my job is hold P8. My job for the next 20 laps is hold P8 as best I can. Do an undercut on the soft. It's a used set, though. That's the thing. It's a used set. So they will have less tyre life in them. So I don't think I can undercut. And even if I did, I'm not going to be quick enough to...
The car in front is a second a lap faster. 1 second.
I'm not going to be quick enough for it to work anyway. Ocon is closing as well, by the way. It's 4.3. It was 4.6. The other drivers are in the pits. Bottas and Verstappen in the pits. They've pit a lap early. They must have had a fresh set of softs. So my teammate has pit this lap too. My teammate is trying to undercut me. I need to put in a hell of a lap. I need to put in a hell of a lap. Please don't Please don't. We did have like a 4-second gap, didn't we, to our teammate? Did have like a 4 or 5 second gap, so we should be safe from the undercut. We should be safe, but I'm not sure.
Up to speed now. Let's get some heat into those tyres.
So we've maintained P9. Schwartzman P10 behind us now. Schwartzman, Ocon hasn't pit. Ocon hasn't pit yet. Ocon stayed out another lap because Alonso pit on that lap. Alonso pit 59, so Ocon has stayed out another lap. We could extend our gap over Ocon here. This set is 7% worn already. Ocon stayed out. Ocon stayed out. He's still not pit, Esteban Ocon. There's no way he can take those softs to the end. Not a chance. Not a chance. Carlos Sainz is past Robert Schwartzman. Sainz is up to P10 and will close me down at a rate of knots in that Ferrari. Our current P9, potential P8 when Ocon eventually pits, might well become a P9 again. I'm going to save my battery as best I can because I'm going to need it to defend from Carlos Sainz at the end of the Grand Prix. 10 laps to go, 3.1 seconds the gap. It's not going to last. Ocon is still staying out!
Our gap to the car in front is 8.2 seconds.
Surely Esteban's going to just get slower and slower and slower before the end of the Grand Prix. Verstappen's not far behind him now at all. It would be a hell of a gamble from Alpine to leave him out for the rest of the race. Verstappen's passed him. Verstappen's passed Ocon, who still hasn't pit.
5.6
Carlos
seconds.
is only 1.8 seconds behind me now. Oh my god! This is such a tense end. Alonso's passed Ocon, but now Ocon will have DRS on his teammate and be able to pull away from me still. I think Ocon is going to somehow, miraculously, make that set of soft tyres do, like, twice as much as they should. Yellow flag in front. Yellow flag in front. What's that for?
Someone's come off ahead of you. There's a yellow flag ahead.
I'm not sure what for.
Okay, gap ahead is 7.5 seconds.
Ocon's DNF'd!
They're retiring.
Ocon's out! We don't need to catch him anymore on track because he's retiring. What's happened? His engine's gone bang. Oh my god! Arcon's out. So Schwartzman's back in the points again. Oh, and then he's gone and driven straight into the fucking wall. Can you believe it? His engine went and he just drove and did more damage to the car. What is happening? What is that? Oh my god! This is going to be the longest video of all fucking time.
Okay,
Virtual safety car, virtual
Your
safety
delta
car.
is negative, which means you are too fast. Reduce your pace. There have been further incidents out on the track, so the officials are moving to a full safety
Full safety car! Oh my god, full safety car! No! Not what we needed! A full safety car! I'm not going to have the tyres. There's no point pitting for a fresh set because there's not going to be enough time. I'm going to save ERS. Oh my god. I'm going to lose the place to science, aren't I? Who's the safety car waiting for? Oh, it's waiting for Lewis. The safety car's waiting for Lewis, who's about... This race may even finish under the safety car yet. And Lewis is still coming down the main straight. The race might end under the safety car still. I'm so confused! Thanks for the 50 bits, Mark. If this race ends under the safety car, then that would just be the final cherry on the top of the cake, wouldn't it? There are 3 laps remaining when we cross the line. Lap 69, lap 70, lap 71. So there will be no DRS at all for the remainder of the race. Because by the time racing resumes, there won't be the 2-lap window for DRS to be enabled again. Thank you for the follow, Jobba Bobba. Welcome to the channel, mate. And AJ. Safety car's in this lap. Oh my god.
Let's make sure those tyres are up to temperature, and remember there is no
Thanks for the follow, Joe.
until the timing line. Stay in position until the green flags.
So safety car's coming around the last corner now, so the safety car is going to continue. And Science is with it, almost within DRS range of me.
5 laps of fuel remaining.
We're green flag racing again. It's game on again between myself and Carlos Sainz to see who's going to get this P8 or P9. We've got 2 laps to hold on to it. Carlos is 0.9 seconds behind. This race has given everything. Absolutely everything. And I need my ERS here. That could save me.
Gap to teammate behind is 6.2 seconds.
2 laps to go. There will be no more DRS for the rest of the Grand Prix. We have to hold Carlos Sainz behind, who's a second behind me, for 2 laps. I have the ERS available here to defend down the main straight. And I am going to need it. We have a 0.9 second gap, 0.8 second gap. I need to just drain my battery, but I need to be wary that I don't use all of my allowance for the lap, because then I will lose all battery power and be super, super slow. We've been caught out by that before.
3 laps of fuel remaining.
It thankfully hasn't cost us a position before, but it nearly has. I need to be wary of that. Carlos, 0.7 behind on the final lap. Lewis is about to win the race, but this is still anyone's game. 0.6 seconds the gap. It's going to take me 10 years to edit this Grand Prix together. I'll use a little bit of ERS there. I think we've done it. I think we've done enough. Lewis Hamilton wins the Grand Prix. He's won almost all races this season. But you can see, bottom left, look, how I've barely got much battery left. The gap is 0.6 seconds. I'm sure we've done enough. Surely Carlos can't take us in these last few turns. It's just a matter of holding on to what we've got and not binning it. And not binning it is what we've done. To the checkered flag for a points finish. Chesnoid Gaming gets 2 cars in the points for the 2nd time this season. Because I believe Robert held on for P10. I believe Robert held on for P10. Ricardo gets driver of the day. But we finish P8. Points for the team. And Lewis wins the Drivers' Championship with that victory. The third time he's won the world title in Mexico. The third time he's won a world championship at Mexico. In fact, it may even be the fourth time he's won the world championship at Mexico. An 8-time world champion, Lewis Hamilton, after the most outrageous Grand Prix. How on earth has that Grand Prix gone the way that it did? Unbelievable. Thank you for the follow, Pookie and Connor and Joe. I can't quite believe it. 3 safety cars, a 6-car accident, 2 people spinning on their own. No, 3 people spinning on their own. Leclerc, Lewis and Verstappen. Wet, inter to wet to inter to dry.
Now, let's discuss.
Honestly, that was just unbelievable.
Daniel started
19th and he finished 2nd. Daniel went from 19th to 2nd. And it's raining again. And it's raining again. A P8 for us, a P10 for Robert. It moves us up to P15 in the driver's standings. We are level on points with former teammate Callum Ilott now. Robert is up to 19th with that single point. And in the constructors, we stay 8th with now 17 points and extend our gap over Alfa Romeo. Incredible. Unbelievable. Thank you for the bits, Benjamin.
Amazing performance out there. I'm sure you're pretty happy.
Yeah, pretty happy with that, Claire. Pretty happy indeed.
Did you struggle to get through all that traffic today?
Not at all. The car has the grace of a ballet
We all
dancer.
underestimated you, didn't we?
My team have faith in me, and it's great. It feels great to live up to it.
Do you think this team are performing as well as they could do?
Absolutely. McLaren are outperforming
Appreciate your time.
anything. Yeah, what do you think, guys? Was that better than Austria? I think that was better than Austria. We nailed the rivalry against Kimi as well. Absolutely nailed it. So we're leading that convincingly with the 3 races remaining for the rest of the season. Schwartzman is up to level 8 now. No, he's not. He's not quite there. We're level 13 and a bit now. Robert. What? Answer at least 2 interview questions during a race weekend. We answered 5 and it didn't give us it. That's a bug that needs fixing. But we only get 100 grand from that race weekend. But that was unbelievable. Yes, Vettel disqualified from the Hungarian Grand Prix in real life. Yes. Only a 2-day wait until the next Grand Prix in Brazil. Let's keep Robert performing, shall we? Right, we have 1,200 R&D points. Now, what can we spend them on? That's unavailable. That's unavailable. I can't spend it on anything in the aerodynamics. We can do weight redistribution, weight reduction. I could do probably both of those. Power-wise, we could do the ECU, but fuel efficiency isn't an issue for us at the minute. Crankshaft for engine power. I kind of need engine power. I'm going to do the engine power one, and then we'll do one of the chassis ones. Weight redistribution or weight reduction? Redistribution, I can't do the redistribution. It's too expensive. It's $690. So it will have to be the cable assembly. Oh, I can't. Unbelievable. We've got £9 million in the bank as well. Now, I'm gonna have to change gearbox for the next Grand Prix because that gearbox isn't gonna last. I'm gonna have to put that gearbox in, or if I'm gonna take a penalty going from one to the other, I might as well just take a brand new gearbox because that one's not gonna last. That 59% gearbox will not last around Brazil, and it will lose a gear like we did around France. I'm going to have to take a gearbox penalty at the next Grand Prix. Now, I could... Oh, they're so expensive, though. 4 million, 5 million. Let's do that for the chassis, because that's what we've got at the minute. I'm going to spend £4 million there, and I'm going to save the rest for contract renewals. I need to be level 15 to do any more driver perks. But in the driver market, Robert's now valued at 1.5 million. Now valued at 1.5 million and 71 rated. He's better driver rating wise than Ilott, Mazepin, Tsunoda and Mick. I mean, keeping Robert Schwartzman on next season is an absolute no-brainer, right? Keeping Schwartzman on next season is an absolute no-brainer for the price and the value that we get from him. Right? That's a no-brainer, meaning that we can spend some more of the money that we've got at the minute. We can spend some more of that money. So we'll keep Schwartzman and we'll put some more money into our departments. We'll improve the aerodynamic department as well. That's what we'll do. We currently don't have enough cash to afford our teammates' renewal, but we will do soon.
Like your input on.
Chassis morale up 20, resource points down 750. No, I can't afford that. We'll just decline.
In and helping handle that.
I don't have a choice there, I'm afraid. Weight training for Robert will improve his pace and his focus. And up next will be the Sao Paulo Grand Prix. But that will be in the next YouTube video. So those of you watching on YouTube, thank you very much for watching. Surely you enjoyed that one. Drop the video a like and subscribe if you haven't already for more in this My Team save. We will be at Brazil in the next stream and in the next Grand Prix on YouTube. Thank you very much for watching, guys. I'll see you next time.